All right, another win for the Padres. They are 5-0, the best start in franchise history, and this was a fun one. There was some rain at Petco tonight. Gavin Sheets, there was the Holy Sheets chants by Padres fans. You could hear it on the broadcast, and he had himself one heck of a night. 4 runs driven in, and something that is happening between him and Victor Rodriguez, whatever has been taught, and Gavin Sheets just soaking up the information, putting it to work, trusting in the process, and it's worked. This guy does in this lineup almost every day. I know that they're going to still do matchups and all that, but it doesn't really matter where the pitch is. He's been in a pretty good position to hit. Tonight we saw him go oppo. We saw him go off the wall in right field for a couple of runs, and obviously he was a big reason why the Padres were able to come away with the win tonight. Kyle Hart, I thought, overall, as you go down here, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 punch outs, gave up a couple of homers, one being to Austin Hedges, which it's like, wow, that's crazy. I think he's hit a homer before, though, against the Padres. But still, when Austin Hedges hits a homer, it's just a shocker. Jose Ramirez, that's not a shocker. But with Hart tonight, I was fine with it. First start in the rotation. He's the back end starter. He's the 5th starter. Really like the 6th or 7th based on guys that are injured, but he's there back of the rotation. We don't need Kyle Hart to be what Randy Vasquez was. That's nice, but we don't need him to be that. For him to keep the Padres, that's what I want from the back of the rotation guys. Keep the Padres in the game, and then we're good. And that's what he did tonight. And then the bullpen, still not allowing a run. I know they have, but almost the entire Brave series didn't allow a run. Tonight, don't allow a run. Alec Jacob, Yuki Matsui, Adrian Morejon, Wandy Peralta. Hats off to Wandy again. This guy's been pretty darn good this year. I know it was really disappointing what he had, last year. He dealt with some injuries too. But so far this year, even the last out of the game, it seemed like Manny was pretty impressed with Wandy going and covering his ground there and making that throw over to first base to get that final out. So good job from the pen overall. Luis Arraez got on the board, got a hit. Now he got thrown out at second, but I'm not worried about Luis. If you were watching his at-bats, you're watching the game, some of these balls are hit pretty good, and they're just hit at guys. And so batting average, like we've learned for years now, that's not going to tell the whole story. So don't just look at the batting average and be like, oh, yeah, okay, that guy should be DFA'd or that guy should be benched. Watch the games, and you'll have a better idea of, if you actually should be concerned about someone. Jason Heyward, here's the average thing again. He's hitting 310 now on the season, and going into tonight, he didn't have a hit yet. So he had the sac fly, had that hit on pulling that ball to right. So I think that means that everyone so far, everyone that has played, that has started, I should say, because Iglesias hasn't started yet. Everyone that has started has had some sort of offensive impact positively so far for the Padres this season, and they're 5-0. Are you going to get that the whole year? No, but that's great to see. That some guys on the bench, some guys that are DHing some days, playing left field some days. You can go to Brandon Lockridge. He's had an impact. Heyward, he's had an impact. Sheets, obviously, he's had an impact. Crony, even against left-handers, he's had an impact. Obviously, top of the order, Tatis. And then Luis Arraez, if you go to what impact has he had, it's still Luis Arraez. So if Luis Arraez is the one guy where it's like, yeah, what sort of impact has he had? I think you're doing a pretty good job. Manny, 3-hit day today, 3 for 5. So Tatis and Manny combined to go 5 for 10 today in this game. Tatis continuing to smoke the ball out of that leadoff spot. Man, he's playing well. Jackson Merrill, what's new? Another game, not going hitless, getting a hit, scoring a run. Bogey scored a couple runs today. Just overall, it was a pretty fun game, Okay, you get down early, whatever. It's the first inning. Lineup hadn't even gotten up yet. Not worried about that. And then Sheets comes through with that double, made it 2-1. Heyward with the sac fly made it 3-1. Tatis, his single made it 4-1. Hedges homered 4-2. Bottom 5, Sheets double, made it 6-2. And just taking the ball the other way, it wasn't like this super hard swing, but he was trying to put the ball in play. And we know Sheets has the power, so it's not like he has to have this huge swing. And it's a liner down the left field line. Brings in a couple of runs, including Jake and Bogey. And then Heyward with that double. Scored Sheets. That made it 7-2. And again, that lineup, or not the lineup, excuse me. Lineup did their job, but the bullpen. With no Hoeing, no Reynolds. It's not like Adam and Suarez pitched today or Estrada. So it was, I mean, that's another win. None of the big three had to pitch today. So that's great. They will be available to pitch the rest of this Guardian series and then day off on Thursday, and they can be ready to go for when the Padres go to Wrigley, starting on Friday late morning, our time. But yeah, this bullpen, again, it goes to Mike Shildt pushing the right buttons essentially all of the time. When Luis Ortiz was leaving pitches over the middle of the plate, Padres capitalized on that. 4 walks today from Luis Ortiz, the Cleveland starter, and the Padres were able to make him pay. 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position today, compared to the Guardians going 0 for 4. We've been on that side plenty of times where we go 0 for with runners in scoring position, and you lose by a run, you lose by a couple of runs. Tonight was not that, obviously, for Cleveland, but it's great to be on the other side of that. But yeah, Shildt goes with Heyward as the left fielder tonight. He drives in a couple of runs. Gavin Sheets is the DH, goes 3 for 3, drives in 4 runs. Keeping Tatis in that leadoff spot. I think it's pretty clear Tatis is the leadoff hitter now. And he has a couple of hits. Merrill, I wonder, as the season progresses, are they going to Merrill hit third? Are they going to keep him where they're at and keep Manny guaranteed to be up in that first inning? Manny's hitting the ball well too. So these are good problems to have if you're Mike Shildt. But yeah, the relievers that he's gone to, they've performed. I know he's not going to take credit for that, but he does, he's the one that goes out there and brings certain relievers in. So him and Ruben Niebla and whoever else is helping it with those decisions, they deserve credit just like the players deserve credit. But yeah, the best start that we could ask for in terms of the record to start off this season, 5-0. Padres may not lose another game. That's a pretty good formula to make the postseason.